Hello. All right, so we got a preview for the Arcane Invoker class. Brand new class going to the game pretty soon, 26th of the month. If you haven't seen the last video I uploaded, new Darkon Class, endgame class. All right, let's go over everything about the class, how to get it, all the skills and all that. Let's do it. All right, let's go over this. So this is not a joke. Despite what you may have seen during April Fools, we are making a Darkon class, and it arrives April 26th. Okay, I didn't even read that. I knew it was coming up 26 because that's what the calendar said. Anyway, since it began, the LG. Okay, I'm not gonna go through all of this. Okay, I do like this little paragraph though. For the last several years, the class team's focus has been on improving existing classes rather than releasing new ones. That benefits everyone playing the game, new heroes and experienced ones. But to do a Darkon class justice, we were going to need to go all out, fully embrace sanity. A little bit of context for the class. Okay, how to obtain the class. This is good, because it's not even coming out for a while, so. If you're at least level 80, okay, fair. Arcana Invoker can be unlocked by obtaining 22 different Arcana-related items and turning in the respective quests. So 22 different quests you gotta do for 22 different items. There are two ways to obtain these items. Create each one in the merge shop using new existing. Okay, so they're all merge shop items. Okay. Merge Darkon or King Drago insignias for Arcana's debris, which can then be used to create Arcana items. Okay, so you have two different ways of getting it. You can either merge shop it or do the insignias. So a lot of people already have large stacks of these insignias, so a lot of people are just gonna get the class today, probably. Wait, or not today, on the 26th. Just you're gonna get it. I imagine there's gonna be a little bit more farming than just this, but yeah. Anyway, each Arcana's debris will cost either one Darkon or King Drago insignia. If you are only using Arcana debris to obtain the class, you will need a total of 80. So 80. So you could have 40 of the Drago and 40 of the Darkon, and you'd be good to go. So yeah, that's okay. The farming methods aren't mutually exclusive. If you want to get some of the Arcana items through the merge shop farming, and others through Arcana debris, go right ahead. All right, so yeah, so if you have like any amount of these insignias, they will cut down on the farming time a bit, and then you can do the rest with the merge shop if you are missing some insignias. But it seems like it's more of a insignia focused thing, considering every time they do a normal farm for these, it's made to be done by a robot usually. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, basically the only gameplay in AQ Worlds that isn't made to do by a robot is the ultra boss fights, to be fair. But yeah, anyway, they go a little overboard a lot of times with the requirements on the non-ultra boss stuff. Personally, on my take on that. But anyway, let's go over the details for the class because they put all the skills here. So let's do a skill breakdown here. Details. Arcana Invoker is an endgame, 2-target farming and solo DPS class that revolves around summoning all 22 aspects. Okay, so they're kind of tying it together with the farm of 22 different. Okay, I get that. Of Arcana, starting with the Fool, then ending with the World. Unlike other classes, Arcana Invoker is acquired at rank 5, so you have access to all of its skills immediately. I think it's weird that they still even have you rank up classes in this game is next to point. Anyway, as like it's just a waste of like 20 minutes of your time. I don't even know why ranks on classes exist. Now, if ranks on classes existed and they scaled up to like 1,000, I could see them exist. And then like they gave you like not like damage bonuses, but they gave you like prestige bonuses. I don't know what they would be, but I don't know, make something up about like maybe a badge or something. I could see the ranks being cool on the class at that point, but ranks on classes have not really been relevant forever in AQ Worlds. The fact that this starts at rank 5 is like not even that special. Like that takes like all of 10 seconds to get to. So you have access to all of its skills immediately. As such, it has no rank 4 passives in the traditional sense, but passives also are point anyway. But its rank 10 passive provides more effects than the average one to make up for it. All right, so Recommended habits for the class is Wizard. The stat model is Offensive Caster. The mana regen is the Arcana Invoker regains 15 mana when they strike a target with Arcana Invocation affected by mana consumption. Okay, I guess we'll get context for what that means in a little bit. So, active skill breakdown. I haven't pre-read any of this, so you get my first reaction here. Alright, so Anagenesis. Oh, I don't know. Okay, anyway, auto attack. Target enemy. Max targets 2. 2 on your auto attack. Nice. Okay. Type physical 60%. Infinite range 2 target auto attack. Yo, okay. 2.2 second cooldown. I think that's a little bit longer than. Isn't base 2 seconds on auto? Anyway. Deliver a strike with your blade of flesh. Deals physical damage based on your spell power. Fairly standard auto attack, but this one hits 2 targets. Okay, so that's a good way to sum it up. So yeah, it's a pretty nice auto attack. It's one of the least complex auto attacks they've put on a recent class. They've been going kind of crazy with auto attacks recently, but not a bad thing. The beginning and the end. So your first skill here. This is a 1 target skill. Okay, so your auto attack does 2, but your first skill only does 1. 222% magical damage, infinite range. That's good. 0 mana cost. That's concerning. And then a 5-second cooldown. I say that's concerning because they always put some weird gimmick mechanic when it says 0 mana cost. It's always got some weird gimmick going on. I haven't read forward, but begin the cycle anew by summoning the Fool, increasing your damage resistance by 80%. For 45 seconds. Jesus. Okay. If Judgment is active, instead, summon the World for 22 seconds. It's about half the time as the other one. Changing the effect of the other skills. If the World is active, instead, deal damage based on your stacks of End of the World. Using the skill while Judgment isn't active will reset the cycle. Can't miss. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest, I don't really know what I just read there, but I'm sure we'll get context for this in the future. The start and end of your journey, the first skill you use on this class should always be this one. Okay, so yeah. As summoning the Fool enables the rest of your class skills to function, while also granting you a massive defense buff. Yeah, so this is basically what you're going to like enter a fight with, because it gives you a lot of damage resistance for a long time. Okay, so once Judgment is summoned, use the skill again to summon the World, unleashing the full power. Alright, so you're basically like toggling between offense and defense, I think, if I'm reading this right. I don't know. Anyway, Arcana Invocation. So this is rank 2. Targets your enemy. 1 target. Okay, so your auto attack does 2, but it seems like every other skill is 1 so far. Negative 15. Does this give you mana? What is negative 15? Okay, I guess it takes away. I'm going to assume it takes away 15 mana. Usually they would just put the number there. I don't. Okay, of mana that you're losing, but if the Fool is present, summon an Arcana. Arcana are summoned in a set order, with each one granting you a new effect and the effects of all previous summoned Arcana. Okay, I was just double check reading that. So yeah, you're gonna get a new one along with all of the previous ones, and there's 22 of them. So you'd have to max stack this to 22 to get all the effects. Your damage resistance is reduced by 4%. Oh, and you're losing 4% damage resistance per stack. Okay, that's a lot of missing damage resistance at 22 stacks, no? If the World is active, instead deals increased damage and applies 2 stacks of End of the World. Stack to 22. Covers 15 mana on hit. Oh, okay, so is this giving you mana back? Is that what minus 15 means? Okay, I don't. Can't miss. That's nice. Once the Fool is summoned, you can start summoning the other Arcana. Simply put, each time you use the skill, you gain a stat buff. See passes below, but you lose some defense granted you by the Fool. Okay, so this is like Major Glass Cannon. So you got this skill that's buffing your resistance by 80, but you're basically losing way more than that by stacking this up. So this, you need this. If you don't have this, someone's gonna breathe on you and you're gonna float away. Back to the start of the map. All right, so interesting so far, interesting class. Arcana Revocation. Hopefully I'm reading all this correctly. This is your rank 3. Okay, so this one's hitting 2, so it's the second skill that hit 2 besides your, including your auto attack. 80% magical, infinite range, mana cost of 40. Okay, so you can only use this 2 times. On a 3-second cooldown, so you use this and your mana's gone. 6 seconds and you have 20 mana left. Channel a magical attack through your Arcana, applying a reserved effect to your target based on your currently summoned Arcana. All effects last 15 seconds unless otherwise specified. If the world is active, it applies the world reserved 5 seconds, applying all reserved stat debuffs at half potency. All right, this skill applies a debuff to your target based on your current Arcana you have active. All right, see passive flow. Well, this is the only skill on the class that costs mana. It costs a lot. Okay, so you may want to conserve your mana to ensure that you can apply a specific debuff at the right time. Next skill, one with a cycle. Rank needed 5. Enemy targets 2. Max targets 2. 100% magical damage, infinite range, no mana cost, 9-second cooldown. The Fool's power surges from within you. Deals more damage the longer the Fool has been summoned. Numbers? Just flavor text, huh? Just gonna... if the world is active, instead it implies Shure a massive dot for 5 seconds. Numbers? No, just the word massive. All right, I love that. Looking at this skill starts off weak, but gets noticeably stronger the longer the Fool persists. I love reading these breakdowns because you know for a fact the class designers have all the numbers. Like, they could just, write them there for the people that care, but they don't, because the flavor text is better, just massive is a better descriptor than typing out a number. All right, anyway, passive skill breakdown. The Arcana. Rank 4, type passive. Applies the following effects when using Arcana Invocation. Okay, so these are your stacks that will apply each time you use that skill, up to 22 stacks. So on first stack, you get 22% in, and wisdom, then a heal over time on your third stack. Okay, that's pretty good. 22% outgoing damage on your fourth stack. 5 in, you're doing 22% more heal. 6 is 22% endurance. Then haste, then physical and magical damage. Then dodge, then luck, then strength, dex, crit damage. Holy. Enhanced HOT. Okay, so you're getting even better HOT. So keep in mind that you're losing 4% damage resistance for each one of these stacks. So you're gonna need stuff like this going down this ladder here. Then crit chance, 22%, and 22% physical and magic resist. Okay, so that's gonna make up. This will help the 4% you've been losing per MOT. Is that mana over time? I would imagine that's pretty good. 22% mana cost reduction. Okay. 22% hit chance, and judgment awakens the world. What does that mean? I don't know. Maybe they'll tell us. Maybe I should know and I just forgot. Anyway, so the Arcana Reserved, another passive here. Applies the following effects. Okay, so this is if you have it reserved or unreserved. Okay. So instead of int, you're getting down. Oh, okay. So this is if you have the defense buff, no? And then this is... Okay, I think I understand. So this is if you have the non-defense buff, the offensive one. So 20... Or minus 20... Or wait, is this... Okay, maybe this is the defense one? Why is it giving you a minus? I don't know, but... You got massive damage, hit chance, haste, the dot resist, physical and magic resist, crit chance, a ramping dot, 5-second delayed dot, a 4-second stun, dodge, haste, decay, dot resist, damage resist. Okay, so also very good looking things there. Or is it bad? 'Cause it's minus. I think it's bad. I don't know. Okay, anyway. Arcana's Blessing. So you're rank 10 here. Haste, hit chance, and crit chance increased by 22%. Very nice. And then we got a little conclusion here. These are usually good to read. Gonna be honest, a little confused on how. I mean, I get the basics for this class before we go through the conclusion, but it seems like it might take a little getting used to using it for reading through this, to be honest. It's probably a little bit of a learning curve picking this up, I'd imagine. But I'm sure you get the hang of it pretty quick. Doesn't seem overly complex or anything, but anyway. Much like Darkon, your goal as an Arcana Invoker is to complete the cycle by summoning the world. To assist you in this, there are 20 Arcana, starting with the Fool, which grants you a massive defense buff, and the next 19 Arcana, which grant you a new buff when summoned, but weaken the power of the Fool's defense buff. The core gameplay of the class revolves around using Arcana Vocation as frequently as possible, and also using Revocation to apply specific debuffs. The one with the cycle to deal damage to the opponents. Once you have reached Judgment, you can summon the world, greatly enhancing the power of your skills for a short time. So if you swap between the two, can you get four? Can you get all of these and all of these? Let me know in the comments. Is that right? Because that makes sense why the. Okay, anyway. Alright. Well, that's enough explanation. You got a primordial to serve. Now go forth. Though try not to sacrifice anyone or end the world. And we got a little note here at the bottom. Plus, when AQW Infinity, I always want to call it AQ Infinity because that sounds better than AQW Infinity. Anyway, releases, every class will need to be reworked. Okay, so I had a theory actually, personally, that the recent classes, with the knowledge that AQ Infinity is a thing, are kind of built around the, knowing that AQ Infinity is a thing, but I guess they're not. They're going to have to remake them? Okay. That's a hefty project. With that said, hint, I'm not saying Infinity won't get brand new classes in between the re-releases of existing ones. Or am I? Alina has used this recently. Stop! Alright, so reading through this, kind of confused. Which isn't the hardest task in the world to confuse me, but anyway. So I'm sure I'll get the hang of it pretty quick once we actually get this bad boy. But yeah, alright. So not too bad. Not too bad of a little class here. Seems like it could be very good or could be very annoying to use. I'm getting the vibe. I'm getting that vibe from it, that it might be annoying. We'll see. We'll see, but it might also be very strong. It's described as an endgame class, and you'll 80 to get it, and you need to farm a bunch of insignias to get it, so we don't need to. You can do the merch shop, but the merch shop is probably the equivalent of CBT, but as per usual. But we'll see on that one. All right, so thoughts, chat. We're chat. Comment down below. This is not live. Comment down below what you think about this class. Are you getting it? You might have already finished farming it if you got all the insignias. So congratulations on that one. Hey, your farming paid off finally. W for those guys, because that's great. So, but I get to see what the bird shop's like. That's gonna be a whole barrel full of monkeys for me. I cannot wait for that. That's gonna. Woo! Oh, I can't wait. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching this directly after it's uploaded, I might be live on the YouTube channel, so go check that out. Become a channel member. It is very, very inexpensive, and I really appreciate all the channel members on the channel. It's like $2 a month, so hit that member button, join up today, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.